Welcome to the February edition of Bridge to India's monthly update on tenders. This is Drishti Singh, analyst at Bridge to India. February was a remarkable month. There were as many as 27 new tenders issued during the month with a total capacity of 6,003 megawatt, highest since March 2020, but there were no project development auctions. 17 of the new tenders, totaling 5,579 megawatt, were issued in project development mode. 10 tenders totaling 424 megawatt were issued in EPC mode. In addition, there were two new EPC sub-tenders totaling 510 megawatt, a pumped hydro storage tender for 1000 megawatt in the month, besides 5 rooftop solar tenders totaling 21 megawatt capacity. In line with recent trend, bid submission deadlines were extended for 25 tenders. Now, let us look at individual tenders. SECI issued a 1200 megawatt pan-India wind tender. Winning bidders are required to stay within L1 tariff plus 2% limit. Minimum CUF is specified at 22%. Last date to submit bids is 3rd April 2023. This is the first SECI wind tender since January 2022. MSEDCL issued another 1 gigawatt agri-feeder tender, 21st such tender by the state, with all previous tenders heavily undersubscribed. It also issued a 500 megawatt solar tender with a 100% green show option. Last date to submit bids is 17th March. The state issued another 200 megawatt wind tender where only existing projects whose PPAs have expired or are nearing expiry are eligible to participate. PPA tenure will be 12 years or balance of useful life of the projects, whichever is less. Ceiling tariff has been set at 2.65 rupees per kilowatt hour. Till date, MSEDCL has issued 7 such wind tenders with a total capacity of 2,492 megawatt. However, only 256 megawatt capacity has been successfully contracted. In a bid to increase participation, ceiling tariff has been raised by about 5% to rupees 2.65 per kilowatt hour. The state also issued a 250 megawatt solar tender under Kusum A scheme with benchmark tariff of rupees 3.30 per kilowatt hour. In Gujarat, State Discom PGVCL issued a 921 megawatt tender under Kusum C scheme. GUVNL issued a 500 megawatt ISTS solar tender with a 100% green show option. Successful bidders are required to stay within L1 plus 2% tariff limit. In GUVNL's first ISTS solar tender, 500 megawatt capacity was allocated at an average tariff of Rs 2.52 per kilowatt hour in January 2023. Tamil Nadu issued a 420 megawatt solar tender under Kusum Component A, second such tender in the state. The last tender in January 2021 saw only 3 megawatt capacity allocated out of 500 megawatt issue size. Assam's APDCL issued a 200 megawatt solar tender, its fifth tender since November 2022, with a cumulative capacity of 470 megawatt. West Bengal's Calcutta Electricity Supply Corporation issued a tender to develop 150 megawatt solar wind hybrid ISTS connected capacity. Projects are not required to be co-located. Himachal Pradesh's Himurja issued a 100 megawatt solar tender on behalf of the state Discom. Projects must be commissioned within 12 months of signing the PPA. 30 megawatt capacity has been reserved for bidders based in Himachal Pradesh. NTPC issued a 500 megawatt solar sub-tender. Projects under this tender may be located anywhere in India. NTPC issued another solar tender for two projects on behalf of Green Valley Renewable Energy Limited, its joint venture with DVC, a 260 megawatt project at DVC reservoirs in Jharkhand and a 50 megawatt ground-mounted solar project in Panchayat district. Last date to submit bids is 31st March 2023. Power Corporation of Karnataka issued a pumped hydro storage tender with a capacity of 1000 megawatt, 8000 megawatt hour. Projects must be located in Karnataka and be commissioned in 3 years. Bids must be quoted for annual fixed cost and cost of cycle loss. Minimum round-trip efficiency must be 75%. Cycle loss deviation will be penalized at up to 2 times the average power purchase rate for the state. Developers need to ensure minimum monthly availability at 100% level with a monthly shortfall penalty equivalent to pro rata fixed cost. ESAs will be signed for a tenure of 40 years. Last date to submit bids is 12th March. Results were announced for only one EPC tender in the month, an 8 megawatt NHTC tender under Kusum C scheme. The project was won by Goldie Solar with a bid of Rs 450 million. RUVNL issued an amendment to its peak power tender. Minimum required capacity of energy storage system has been updated to 0.67 megawatt hour. Bidders are now required to ensure minimum capacity of 50 megawatt at each injection point. Minimum CUF has been increased to 35% from 30%. Peak hours have been reduced to any 4 hours daily between 6 to 10 am and 6 to 11 pm. Previously, peak hours could be any 4 to 6 hours in the day. Up to 10% shortfall in peak power supply may be permitted, with any further shortfall penalized at 2.5 times the PPA tariff, an increase from the previous penalty of twice the PPA tariff. PBG has been reduced to Rs 1.8 million per megawatt to Rs 3 million per megawatt. In a regulatory update, CERC has approved tariff for a 200 megawatt solar project by O2 under NTPC 1200 megawatt tender at Rs 2.43 per kilowatt hour. Power procurement has been tied up with Odisha. It has been 2 years since the auction, but NTPC has been unable to find off-takers for 770 megawatt capacity, once again showing low interest from DISCOMs in vanilla solar power. With this, we conclude the monthly tender update for February. We hope you found this useful. You can view all tender, policy and regulatory information on the renewable power sector in real time at India RE Navigator, a one-stop market intelligence portal for the renewable sector. You can also write to us at contact@bridgetoindia.com if you have a query or feedback. We would love to hear back from you. We'll be back next month with another update. Thank you and goodbye.